Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to my video. Alright, so I'm gonna give you guys a quick fix if you guys have this issue. I had this issue a couple days ago, and I just want to let you guys know that it was so... I was a bit frustrated, actually, to be honest with you. So basically, let me tell you guys what happened, how I fixed it, okay? So basically, this issue was... it came out of nowhere. I drove my car for most of the day, and it drove fine without an issue, but I did hit a really hard bump. But I mean, I was driving it for like an hour afterwards, and I parked it at a Wendy's. I went to get something to eat, came back out, and tried to open my door with the remote, and it didn't work. So I was like, you know, it didn't dawn on me that anything was, I had issues or anything, except maybe the battery and the remote wasn't working. That's what I thought. So I actually took out the key and got into the car, and I noticed that there wasn't any kind of sound, any kind of ring. I also noticed that there was no power inside the car. So anyway, I tried to start it, and nothing. It's completely dead. The dashboard had no lights at all, and at that point I knew it was probably going to be a dead battery. That's what I thought anyway, because I've had maybe at least 2 instances of something like that happening, but I don't know why it would be dead, because I was only in Wendy's for about, I don't know, 20 minutes. I had the Wendy's large chili and large fries, which is what I normally get, and a Coke. And back to the story. So I was like, it's a dead battery. How could it be a dead battery, considering I changed out the battery like 5 months ago? It's a brand new battery. But anything can happen, so I actually looked at the battery. I went to look at the battery just to make sure that there's no issues with it. And I was looking at the battery, trying to figure out whether I could see any issues with the terminal, with the cables themselves. And I will say that the cables were just a little bit loose, not very loose, but just a little bit loose where I could wiggle it. And I thought to myself, well, let me just wiggle a little bit and then try to start. I wiggled a little bit, nothing seemed to happen. Try to start it, nothing happened. And at that point, I was like, okay, maybe it's because it's dirty. Maybe the terminal is dirty. Maybe it's just dirty. So I was like, let me just clean it a little bit. So I took the cables off the battery, pour some Coke on the terminal, on top of the terminal, the battery terminals, and pour some Coke on the cable connector, positive and negative, and I clean it off. I didn't think that was the cause of it, but just in case, I did it anyway. Popped it back on, and just nothing at all. Try to start it, nothing. I didn't even, there was no spark at all when I tried to put it on the, you know, when I put the positive and the negative cables back on the battery, there's no spark. Normally there would be. So I was like, okay, this is a dead battery. It seems like a dead battery. And I thought to myself, let me just get a jump. I'm going to jump it, and then I'm going to go to Walmart to get a Walmart value battery for like 70 bucks and pop it in again. Maybe I could get like, I don't know if it was warranty. Maybe it was like because I did get a Walmart battery, and maybe I was thinking maybe it was warranted for a year. It's only been 5 months. So I was like, okay, not a big deal. Right, so I get my NoCo power pack I bought from Walmart, 75% charged up. I popped it on, and I tried to start it, and got nothing. got absolutely nothing at all. So I thought to myself, maybe it's not on there correctly. So I tried to put it on different areas of the terminal and on the cable itself. Nothing at all. So I was like, well, what's the problem here? Because 75% of Norco should actually started, and it didn't. So I was like, okay, all right, so we're gonna have to look a little bit more deeper into this. Might not be the battery at all. I can't say 100%, might not be the battery. So I was looking at a negative cable, just trying to figure out whether the negative cable was the issue, and I yanked on it a little bit just to make sure that it's connected to the frame, and it was connected to the frame. It wasn't it wasn't frail. It was strong. So I was like, no power whatsoever. Let me look at the fuse box, see whether the fuses were blown or not. Any of the fuses were blown. I was looking at the fuse box, going through just from eyesight and the sniff test. All right, just from eyesight, see if there's any kind of brownish, anything brownish on the top of any of the fuses. And I was trying to smell whether there was kind of burnt smell, whatever. Couldn't find any, and I wasn't specifically looking for a particular fuse. I wasn't particularly looking for a particular fuse in the fuse box. I wasn't looking for a particular blown fuse in a fuse box at all. And I was thinking to myself, okay, all the fuses seem to look fine. There was nothing that looked like it was burnt, and I wasn't actually trying to look for a specific fuse. Like, I wasn't trying to look for a starter fuse because I was getting power at all, so it wouldn't have mattered whether the starter fuse was blown. And so I was looking at the whole entire situation, just trying to figure out, maybe I should ask for a jump. Maybe my Norco jump pack had issues. So I was like, okay, man, let me ask this couple of people to see if they could give me a jump or whatever. And I asked at least 2 people. The second person actually gave me a jump, and I was putting the cable all over the place because every time I would change up where the positioning, it didn't make a difference on whether it gave any power or not. So I'm like, all right, so this is a situation now, because it's probably not the battery. It's probably not the battery. It probably has nothing to do with any of the stuff. You know, the battery, it's got probably not got nothing to do with the battery, the relays, and whatever. So I was checking out the cables themselves again. I'm looking at it a second time, and I noticed that the positive cable had this big block on it, and I was looking at blocks at it with there was like little mini windows, and it hit me that it was actually a fuse. There was very separate fuses in it, and I was looking at one of them, and one of them looked like it was burnt. So I actually used a screwdriver just to take out the little plastic mini window. Took it out, and I noticed that one of the fuses was disconnected. It was broken off, meaning that the fuse actually burnt out. So what I did was I put the metal pieces of the screwdriver between to connect the fuse itself, and because I had my door open, I was hearing chimes and stuff like that. So at that point, I knew that it was probably that part that had issues. And I don't know what could have caused it. It may have been that bump. I don't know why a hard bump would cause a surge enough to actually blow that it's called a fusible link. Have blown that. I didn't know why, but it didn't matter to me. I pretty much knew that that was the problem at that point. So I actually did, there was a AutoZone a couple blocks down. I went to the AutoZone. Luckily, they had the fusible link. I changed it out. Once I popped it back on, everything worked as normal. Had no issues since then. It's been driving fine. Has power and everything. So, the moral of the story is, just to keep this story short for you guys, you guys have this issue where you guys have absolutely no power, and you guys have, well, you guys no power, and then you guys have, tested out the battery. You guys can't jump it. There's no power at all. Check it out, guys. Okay, it could be that fusible link that could be causing your problem. You guys might want to check that out. Look at the little window, see if anything's burnt or whether the fuse is broken, etc., etc. But in any case, hope that this has helped you guys out. And if you guys have any questions, definitely leave a question in the comment section. Please subscribe. Please give me a thumbs up. If you guys have any of your own personal experiences, please leave your comment in the comment section. It might help somebody else out. All right, guys, take care.